Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. We're here to really get stuck into the thrilling world of rugby and pull out the biggest insights from the sources you give us.
Exactly. And today, we're tackling a big one. The argument for why South Africa's Springboks aren't just top contenders, but, well, still the best team in the world.
It's quite a statement. We're digging into a really fascinating article by Nick Bishop called "There Can Be Only One: Why South Africa Are Still the Best Team in the World."
And we've got some great reader comments alongside that, too. Our plan is to really understand the tactics, the players, the whole philosophy behind the Springboks' current success.
Yeah, get ready for some pretty eye-opening stuff, I think. A clear breakdown of what makes this team so good. It should leave you feeling really clued up on where things stand in global rugby right now.
Absolutely.
And hey, before we dive in, if you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe on Rugby Obsession. You don't want to miss these deep dives.
Okay, so where do we start? That article title, right?
Yes, the article kicks off with that great line from Highlander, "In the end, there can be only one." It really sets the tone, doesn't it? Suggests the debate's kind of over.
It totally does. Bishop uses it to frame that huge win against the All Blacks, the 43-10 victory at the Cake Tin.
Wow.
Yeah, after a performance like that, the article basically says, look, there's no real argument left. South Africa are number one. It wasn't just a win. It was a declaration.
And the way they won.
Yeah.
Those stats are just staggering. Winning the last 50 minutes 36-0.
In the final quarter, 26-0.
Against the All Blacks. That sustained pressure, what does that tell us?
Well, it kind of blows up that old idea, that
Yeah.
Super Rugby automatically makes players better conditioned for tests.
Right, because a lot of these Boks play in Europe.
Exactly. Different style, maybe more physical grind, week in, week out. And they still finish that strongly. It shows their conditioning, their strategy.
Yeah.
It's just top-notch, regardless of where they play.
And for New Zealand, I mean, that's a massive defeat at home.
Historic, really. And it continues a trend. That's 5 wins out of the last 6 for the Boks against the All Blacks. That 33-point gap also pretty much erases that pre-World Cup loss they had.
You could see the reaction in New Zealand. Pundits just look shell-shocked.
Yeah, Mills Muliana saying it looked like the All Blacks gave up. That's harsh.
Especially coming from an ex-All Black.
And Kieran Reid, another legend, echoed it. He talked about an internal weakness under pressure, said something like, "Where's that spine? 43-10, that is an absolute hiding."
Oof. Strong words. It suggests it wasn't just a bad day at the office, but maybe something deeper.
Potentially. It shows that even the best talent needs that mental skill when things get really tough.
Now, the article points heavily towards Rassie Erasmus, South Africa's director of rugby. It talks about him embodying that "the harder I work, the luckier I get" idea.
He seems to have that effect, yeah. The article mentions his willingness to take risks in selection, even if it meant looking like a clown if things went wrong.
That takes some guts at this level. What was the biggest gamble, do you think?
Well, ironically, the biggest shift wasn't maybe a planned gamble initially. It was bringing in Andre Esterhuizen the Giants into midfield.
Right, 6'5", 120 kilos.
Exactly. That happened because of an injury, which pushed Damian Willemse to fullback. But Rassie saw the potential in that setup.
Instead of just a like-for-like swap.
Right. He adapted, saw an opportunity, and boom, the perfect Springbok swarm, as the article puts it. That ability to turn a bit of luck into a strategic masterstroke, that's pretty special.
And what a storm. You had that raw power, Esterhuizen, the rookie hooker, Jasper Wise at number 8, all huge guys.
Averaging nearly 120 kilograms, yeah, big units.
But it wasn't just about bashing it up, was it? The article mentions dual playmaking.
You had Feinberg Mingamazulu, then Libak at 10, the fly half, and Willemse pulling strings from 15 fullback. That combination hit the Tony Brown ball sweet spot.
Can you unpack that Tony Brown ball sweet spot for us?
Sure. It's about balance. Think Tony Brown, the old Highlanders fly half brilliant attacking mind. It means having that power to suck defenders in, but also having players who can make smart decisions, see space, and play wide effectively. Keeps the defense guessing constantly. Power and brains, basically.
Let's look at some of those individuals.
Yeah.
Esterhuizen, he's more than just size, right?
Oh, definitely. People underrate his skills. He's naturally left-sided, got a huge left boot, really soft hands for a big man.
The article mentions that incredible pass he threw from the scrum base to Colby.
Yeah, crossfield, right off the deck. You don't expect that from your inside center. Plus, he's like having an extra flanker at the breakdown, a real asset.
Then Manny Libak at 10, his passing.
Outstanding. Especially that left-handed pass, the vision he has. His link up with Willemse for one of the tries was just sublime.
And Ethan Hooker. The article calls him a winged Hermes in the air.
Yeah, winning 4 kick reclaims in a row. That's huge for momentum. And his run out of defense started that amazing long-range try sequence.
Willemse, too. His power near the line, driving through tackles.
Taking the ball at pace, generating that force. And his combination with Grant Williams, the scrum half, was electric.
When you see all these individual moments click together in those Olympian-scale moves the article describes, what's that like to watch? Pure magic? Or can you see the system working?
It's honestly a bit of both. There's the wow factor, seeing these incredible athletes doing amazing things, but underneath you see the structure, the plan.
The system enabling the flair.
Exactly. It's planned freedom, almost. Justin Marshall summed it up well in commentary.
The former All Black scrum half.
Yeah, he said something like, no one can argue about their game plan. They have strike power. They can play with pace and tempo. Quite incredible. That hits the nail on the head. Strategy and execution.
It really does. Okay, fascinating stuff on the tactics. Just a quick reminder for everyone listening, if you're enjoying this deep dive, do make sure you're subscribed to Rugby Obsession for more like this.
So, moving beyond just that one win, there's a bigger picture here, a sort of philosophical shift.
Yeah, the article talks about this interesting role reversal between South Africa and New Zealand.
It's quite something. South Africa, often seen as, let's say, more traditional or conservative in their approach,
Right.
is now being described as innovative and progressive. They've built this coaching team with experience from all over Ireland, Japan, you name it. Really global thinking.
While New Zealand gets labeled plain vanilla local, that's quite pointed.
It is, and it mentions their head coach, Scott Robertson, needing his risk-taking wrung out. It makes you think about leadership, doesn't it? Innovation isn't just tactics, it's about the culture, being open to outside ideas.
And being honest. The article contrasts Rassie Erasmus's bluntness, saying we were really dogs today after a bad performance,
Yeah, very direct.
with Robertson's more careful media speak, like we own it as a group, we let him get away.
That contrast is key, I think. Rassie's honesty, however brutal, builds trust. Players know exactly where they stand. It fuels that constant drive to improve.
Whereas the more guarded approach might, perhaps, mask things.
Potentially. Or just not create that same sense of raw accountability. The insight, maybe, is that authentic leadership, even when uncomfortable, is vital for sustaining that high-performance edge. It keeps everyone grounded.
But even with this win, it's not all smooth sailing. Consistency is mentioned by readers. DP points out this might have been their first truly complete game this season.
Fair point. And the upcoming French test is looming large. Big Abe, another reader, makes that point too. France are Six Nations champs, playing at home.
And probably wanting revenge after the World Cup quarterfinal.
Absolutely. That'll be a massive test. You can never stand still at this level. Dominance has to be proven again and again.
What's great is how the reader comments add these extra layers, like the praise for Manny Libuk. Rugsies calls him the world's best fly half, highlighting his vision.
And linking his current form back to that previous big win over New Zealand, where he was also instrumental, it builds a picture of his impact over time.
Then there's the whole discussion around the Springbok DNA. This is fascinating.
Yeah, Hammerhead talks about the historical, real DNA being about exciting running backs, not just forward power.
And suggests the Western Cape, producing talents like Libuk, Willemse, Colby, Moody, is bringing that flair back to the jersey.
It's a great perspective connecting regional talent pools to a sort of historical team identity, like they're rediscovering a part of themselves.
And there's so much excitement about the youth coming through, too.
Definitely. Rugsies, again, mentioning seeing the young backs together and naming guys like Pede, Hainakum, Renzo Duplessis. It shows the pipeline is healthy. They're not just relying on the established stars.
Which feeds into Graham VF's point about specific combinations. That backline, Libuk, Esterhuizen, Moody, Willemse, racking up over 60 points against the All Blacks in 2 games.
That's not luck. That's synergy. Shows how well those specific players operate together within the system. It's about the collective, not just individuals.
So wrapping this all together, we've seen this blend of bold strategy, amazing individual talent, and maybe a return to a certain kind of Springbok DNA. It's solidified their place at the top.
For now, at least.
Right. Which leads to a bigger question, maybe for the whole sport. What does this South African approach the global coaching, the blend of power and skill, the sheer adaptability mean for rugby globally? Can other teams catch up or adapt?
That's the big question, isn't it? And we genuinely love to know what you think. What stood out for you in this deep dive? Is Lubbock the future? What is that Bok DNA in your eyes? Let us know your thoughts.
Please do. And for more expert analysis and passionate rugby chat, remember to subscribe to Rugby Obsession.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for listening to this Rugby Obsession deep dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.